Microphone check 212. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Bearded Maaaan. We back in the building for episode 12. We out here. Ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? It's been a long 2-ish weeks since you've heard last from me. And I want you to know I'm safe, I'm alive, and I'm well. And we're cooking up 7:20 p.m. on a Monday. I don't know why, but every time I record a podcast, I feel like I have to give some context to when I'm actually recording. And I think also it's inspiration from Drake, because every time he names a song, 5 p.m. in Houston, 5 p.m. in Toronto, he's got songs with PMs and probably AMs that I don't even know about. Anywho, it's not about Drizzy, it's about Baja Bay. Welcome back to the podcast. Big episode 12 in the building. Last night, just got back into town from being back on the East Coast, Massachusetts. That's where I'm from. Spent 10 days back there, and what an incredible trip that was. What's kind of funny is originally when I had booked the trip, I had booked it from a Wednesday night red-eye across the U.S. and then returning back on a Tuesday night. And as I was thinking about this trip going into it, it absolutely made no sense as to why I was forcing such a trip when I have no reason to get back to L.A. because of COVID. Everything's shut down. Everything's locked down. So why rush to get back to LA? Also, haven't seen my parents, haven't seen my sister and a bunch of other family in over 8 months. The last time I was in Massachusetts was back in October. That was before I was even working for Liquid I.V. I was still slaying them Uber streets. And I was honestly in such a different mental space the last time I was home, which was so weird to me because I remember going home back in October 2019. Or it was towards the end of September. And I was just kind of in this mental space of just, I needed the reset. I needed to go back home. I was already going back for a golf tournament. I was already going back for a wedding. But it was great timing because once again, I had hit that creative wall. I wasn't sure what to do next. I was already putting my old podcast, Purpose in the Youth, on pause. And I was definitely burnt out with Uber. And it was just, it was so surreal to be back because I thought about the last time I was home was that moment of me just not sure what I was doing. And then, come to find out and I'm getting this incredible opportunity with Liquid I.V. and the stars all aligned. But what an incredible trip. What an incredible trip. A lot of great things to celebrate too. But, just recently, about 2 weeks before going home, my father just retired after 32 plus years of working for the state of Massachusetts. So round of applause for the Birdman, a.k.a. Bird Hobart. If you guys know him, he's a legend. If you don't know him, that's unfortunate. But I very much am my father in the sense of personality. I got my mom's brain, as my father would say. But yeah, it was really awesome to kind of go back and celebrate him, just recently retiring. And of course, I got to give my mom a shout out because if she listens to this podcast, she's going to think she didn't get no love. But of course, it was so amazing to see my mom, who has been my rock. I mean, my parents have been my rock for the last couple of years, going through all this creative stuff and trying to figure my shit out after post-graduation of college. So it was so incredible. My sister also came into town. She's living down in Charleston, South Carolina. So you put the three Hobarts back in the same room. We're cranking up the heat. We're having a good old time. And it was an absolutely necessary trip to just kick it with the fam and just go with the flow. 10 days. Wow. It goes like this, ladies and gentlemen. Blink of an eye, It's just crazy to think how quick that went by. But, yeah, I don't know. I had a great trip, and shit, can't wait to go back. Probably sometime in the wintertime. I think definitely the tough thing about when you're going on a little bit of a vacay, and I know we're not vacating anytime soon. And that's one thing about going back this time around was very much more dialed back than most times when I go home. It's, meeting up with friends, going out to dinner, going to the local bars, catching up with everybody. But because of of COVID and everything that's happening in the world, very much more dialed back, very much of a throttle all the way back, which honestly I think worked in my favor because a lot of times you go back to see family and friends, and a lot of that time gets cut up because you're going to see other people. And so it's like you might be back for a week, but you only are with your parents for 3.5, 4 days of that week. And so it honestly worked to my advantage. I got to spend a lot of quality time with my family, see a lot of uncles and aunts and cousins, and being smart and keeping our social distance and following the guidelines. And not going out and, just cooking at home and having appetizers and all that jazz. It was just an awesome trip. It was, I couldn't have ever asked for a better trip. Also got to try $1,000 bottle of whiskey, bourbon, I should say, Kentucky whiskey bourbon, I believe it was. I don't even know. It's called Van Winkle, 12-year-old Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Shout out to my uncle, Tommy, if you hear this, which you won't, but I'm going to give him a shout out because he let me sip on $1,000 bottle, which, whew, out of my wheelhouse, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't burning money like that. Someday we'll have that on deck at all times, but man, that tasted yummy. Tasted real good. What was pretty amazing about this flight back last night. So let me just say this. Flight inbound, took a red-eye, 12:30 p.m. on a Thursday. Once again, got to give context. No, 12:30 a.m. Red-eye, flying through the sky. Everyone's sleeping. Bearded Maan's out there just, you know what I'm saying, flying across the country. I got things to do. I got fam to see. American Airlines, disappointed, packed the entire flight. There was not a seat open. But luckily, I had a window seat, so I was tucked in. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw me with my mask. I had also bought an eye mask so I could sleep at night, and I had a hoodie on, and I had a neck pillow around me. And if you follow me on IG, you probably saw it. But I was COVID ready. I was ready to block anything that was trying to get through my eyeballs, get through my mouth, get through my earlobes. I was blocked in all canals. You know what I'm saying? Sounds so bad. For sure. I can't confirm, but I'm almost positive if you are familiar with a hip-hop artist by the name of DaBaby, who's from North Carolina, was on my flight. I kid you not, it was 100% him. And one wasn't going to say something to him because he was getting on the plane as he walked by me when I was already sitting. But I was like, yo, that's definitely the DaBaby. And then I checked his Instagram story, and he was in LA that day shooting a music video, and he's from North Carolina. And I was like, damn, I just saw DaBaby. So I think that makes us boys. And I think he was in LA shooting the remix video with Jack Harlow, Lil Wayne, and Tory Lanez. And I think we figured that out today because of my man Dylan Reese. Shout out to Dylan Reese for helping me put that together. But anywho, flight back. So took a red eye through the night. Rough flight, but easiest way to get to the East Coast. You fly through the night, slept through the entire flight, wake up. I'm in North Carolina, take another hop, skip, and a jump up to Hartford, and bam, I was back in the hood. But flying back last night was kind of perfect because it gave me some time to just like reflect on the trip on the last 10 days. And it was like a 4:20 p.m. flight out of Hartford via Southwest. So let's give a round of applause for Southwest Airlines for actually doing social distancing on their flights and not allowing a middle seat. So everybody had space. I felt comfortable. I felt relaxed. And it just so happened my first flight from Bradley out of Hartford to Denver, I had nobody in my row. So I had the whole row to myself. So I put on some music, put on some jazz. That's the Spotify playlist I listen to when I'm trying to create and I'm trying to get in the groove. Because if I listen to lyrics, it gets me distracted. If I listen to podcasts, it gets me distracted. So I put on some jazz and I was just vibing. Thinking about the last 10 days and how great I felt, how much gratitude was in my life, and how just it was an amazing trip. And so I ended up writing a little bit of a blog, which you guys and gals can check out on www.itsthebeardedmaan.com, where I've been blogging a little bit more. And the title of this blog is called "It's Not Goodbye, It's See You Later." And that's something that when myself and my sister kind of moved away, and we'd come back and visit my parents, we kind of made this pact that, when dropping us off at the airport, which is the most dreadful moment, pulling up to Bradley, pulling up to Hartford, when you know that in about 30 seconds you're going to be getting out of the car, saying your goodbyes, and not seeing your parents for, quite a bit of time. For me, it probably won't be till Christmas, which is in December, so it's July now, so we're talking 6 months. It's a tough moment, and one thing we kind of made a pact from I think very early on in moving to LA for me is just no tears allowed at the airport, because it's just not an easy thing to do, to say goodbye, and that's the title of the blog, because it's not goodbye, it's see you later. I'm not saying goodbye to my parents forever. I'm not saying goodbye to my sister forever. I'm not saying goodbye to my family forever. It's just I'm leaving for a little bit, but I will be back. I will see you soon. I will see you later. And so I spent the flight just reflecting and writing out a little bit of a blog post. And, that's kind of segueing into kind of something I also want to talk about is that's where I think my content's going now. Ever since kind of stopping Purpose in the Youth back in right when I took the job with Liquid I.V in October, I've kind of just been on this whole crazy, just figure it out. Just go with the flow, try to I got so much more balance in my life pre-COVID, starting to go out more, starting to meet people. And then COVID happened, and then I said, screw it, bought an Xbox, started ripping a little bit, and I was missing a fulfilling thing in my life, okay? So I love Liquid I.V. I love being a podcast specialist. I love that opportunity, right? But there's a fulfilling part of my life that comes from just speaking and sharing my voice with the world, whether that's through Instagram posts, whether it's through tweets, whether it's through podcasts like this or blog posts. I feel like weight is lifted off my shoulder when I post things like this to the world. And it just feels good. It just feels good because I'm being authentic to myself. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but this is me. This is who I am. And I'm a true believer that, I think a lot of us, we have ideas of what we want in our lives, right? And we don't have the opportunity in front of us right now. But the best thing that we can do is just continue to work on the thing that we're so passionate about and trust that it's going to work itself out. I was thinking about on the flight last night, had I never started Purpose in the Youth right when I graduated college, I never would have met Brandon Cohen. I never would have got this job. Obviously, I never would have met all the amazing other credible guests as well, but it's that trusted faith of knowing that if I really am passionate about something or really my gut is telling me to follow it, there's no way to tell where it's going to take you, but you have to trust that it's going to take you somewhere to a better place than where you are now because it's somewhere you want to go. It's something you're passionate about. And so, I thought about that on the plane. I thought about my life so what I was trying to say is, so now I'm at a point where I've kind of finally found the tweak of what I've been missing, and it's just sharing my voice. And I'm back to stage one, right? When I started Purpose in the Youth, I kind of figured it out. And then by year 3, I had it down to a pact. And I knew I had a vision for where I was going. It's the Bearded Maaaan is the new thing. I'm just going all in on my personal brand. I'm not sure where it's going, but I have a bunch of ideas. I want to have guests on the podcast. I want to continue doing these solo pods, which I really never did much on the old podcast. I want to get back into blogging. I don't want to be put in a box. I do not want to be put in a box. I want to just create when I'm inspired to create, and I want to trust that someday this is going to continue to take me down a path of where I'm supposed to be. It's that trusted faith. It's that belief that if I continue showing up and I continue creating, I continue to just follow what is in my gut telling me to follow, it's going to take me to a place that I never would have imagined being. So I'm just tricking myself into believing that I've already made it to the next destination, wherever that might be. And so from now till then, I need to just keep creating. So I think I might have mentioned this in episode 11, the podcast 2 weeks ago, but right now, just getting back from Massachusetts, I don't really have any travel plans coming up. Pretty head down due to COVID right now, but my game plan right now is just to keep cooking up everything and anything, whether it's blogs, podcasts, everything. I'm just going all in. I don't care about the analytics. I'm not even checking the analytics on last week's podcast. I'm not checking the analytics on who read my blog post the last couple weeks. I don't care. Whether it's 1, 10, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, a million, I'm still going to keep doing it. And the less that I look at the results, the more I'm going to keep going because I'm not thinking about, I should have done this differently. I'm just trusting my gut and I'm just throwing it out there because I think a lot of times with creativity, we overthink it. We think we need to change this word. We shouldn't have said that, blah, 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 blah. It's never going to be perfect. I've realized that for at least me personally, for what I create, there's always got to be something I should have done differently. And so right now, I'm strapped in. You guys and gals better be strapped in. And we're just going for a ride. And I have no idea where it's going to take us, but it's going to be a glorious place. So, next topic. Pretty sweet news for the Bearded Maaaan. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I don't give a damn. That's what the podcast is all about. Tell them, Bobby. All right, so it's pretty funny. When I was back home last, I came back to LA and then got the job with Liquid I.V, right? Just so happens while I'm back home now, I get connected from a friend of mine hit me up. She was a past podcast guest. I'm not going to say any names because I don't want y'all to go creeping and trying to figure it out. I had a girl on my podcast some time ago, randomly hits me up on the IG DM. Sends me a message saying, hey, I hope you're doing well. Quick question. Are you single? Absolutely. But I knew she wasn't asking, she wasn't asking for herself. She said, I have a friend that I would like to introduce you to, and I just wanted to see, like, are you single? Like, what's your deal? Blah, blah, blah. I said, yes, I'm single and I'm ready to mingle. But me being cautious, like, you know, I'm down to, like, get connected, but I need to know what this person looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm all about personality. That to me is that's the keeper, right? But I think looks are what pulls us into somebody. It's the attractiveness. Are we, you know, do we feel that energy like seeing them? And so I said, you know, can you send me this person's profile? Can I just, like, you know, dip my toes in the water? And she did, and I skimmed it, and I said, damn, she's a cutie. Who is this? I even showed my sister. She gave the thumbs up. She said, damn, this girl's cute. So, ladies and gentlemen, your boy's got a little date coming up. I'm not going to say what day. I'm not going to say what's happening. We've been chit-chatting a little bit, a little text, a little bit of chit-chatting through the DM. Score the number today. You know what I'm saying? We're setting it up. B.O.B.'s sitting at the free throw line, taking some shots. We got nothing to lose and everything to gain. I'm single. You know what I'm saying? I'm single, and I'm ready to mingle. And for, you know, the last couple of years, I was head down just focusing on myself. But damn, am I ready to, you know, meet a special someone. So, Bearded Maaan's got a date coming up. I'll keep you posted on how it goes. It's coming up this weekend. I'll tell you that. And I'm very excited. This girl's cute. We've been chit-chatting a little bit, and so that's all I'm going to say. Bye, chill. Let's get it, boy. Yeah, okay. So that's the date. Also, obviously, clearly leading to that, it's going to be interesting, is, you know, a COVID date. So I'm going to make sure we're in a very safe distancing place where we can sit down and be safe and take our mask off because, you know, got to show off the beard. You know what I'm saying? That's the real deal. That's the real seller, I should say, not the deal breaker. That's the real selling point, I hope at least. Yeah, so LA's definitely not doing good right now. Just came back, and now LA's shut down, so that's great news. Not really. Gyms, everything, barbershops. We'll get through this at some point. I'm not going to waste too much of your guys and gals' time because I know everyone's already knows what's going on. But just wear your mask, keep your social distancing, clean your hands, and just follow the rules. Anybody that says don't wear a mask, stop being an idiot. Cool. While I was back, I want to give a quick shout out to Liquid I.V. We just launched a new hydration product. It's a very limited edition, so get yours while you can. I think right now we're only selling one per customer, but is a Seaberry hydration product. So if you follow Liquid I.V, we have the lemon lime, passion fruit, acai, and we now have a Seaberry flavor, which stems back to I think it was the second give back trip of Liquid I.V to Nepal in 2019, in May 2019, and they stumbled upon some sea berries, and ultimately that is now a new limited flavor that is also made out of packaging that is 100% reused plastic. The sticks are reusable plastic. The cart that the actual product comes in is reusable plastic. And it's an incredible story. I highly suggest you guys and gals go, if you like docu-series, go on to YouTube, type in Liquid IV. There's a 6-part series explaining the Seaberry flavor and showing the actual footage of the team going to Nepal back in May 2019. I, of course, was not part of the team then, but I was very aware of the trip. So, you know, it's awesome to see this content. And it's just great to work for a company that is so passionate about, you know, growing a great business, but also changing the world while doing it. And it's phenomenal. It just adds a whole nother like fire under our asses to keep pushing and keep growing. And, you know, luckily we're at a point where the business has continued to grow. You know, there's been a little bit of a speed humps here and there with COVID, but overall, this company's cooking up. It's fired up, and there's a lot of great stuff happening behind the scenes, and I'm, you know, extremely grateful for that opportunity, of course. But as a reminder, 25% off code The Bearded Maaaan at checkout. No spaces, no, it doesn't matter, capital letters, but The Bearded Maaaan. Every order, 25% off. Let them know The Bearded Maaaan sent you. I'm just here to hook up my guys and gals, the Bearded Maaaan followers, the Bearded Maaaan community, because I believe in the product and I drink it every day. So we touched on a lot of things today. We got going back to MA. That was a great trip. COVID's going crazy in LA and the world. Hopefully we get this figured out. B.O.B. got his date coming up this weekend. Let's go. Send your prayers. The Bearded Man content, more blogs, more podcasts. I will say, if you have either a topic you would like me to kind of dive into, let me know. Shoot me a DM on Instagram at boooy, B-O-3-Bs, 4 A's and a Y. And I'm just looking for inbound ideas. But also, guess is the next wave. I think it's going to be the next podcast, or maybe within the next couple if I can do it right and there's distancing and all that jazz. But definitely want to bring on some guests, and it's going to be a very free-flowing conversation. So let me know who you'd like to see and hear on the podcast. And if you're asking if there's ever going to be visuals, maybe one day. But for now, we're just sticking to the audio. It keeps it super clean, super efficient, and I like it. You guys can't see me, but you can hear me. You like that? Yep. Chip. I did get a question last week that I just wanted to glaze over. It's not something I really wanted to dive into on a full podcast, but I had somebody, and unfortunately I don't remember who it is because it was probably about 2 weeks ago at this point. But somebody had asked me about what my thoughts are on marijuana and like enhancing creativity. So let me just say this. I've experienced with marijuana in high school. I've done a little bit of vapor and some edibles even recently. I know for me personally, marijuana doesn't help me creatively. Not one bit. It is very much something that like it's like to ease the end of my day. It doesn't help me, okay? Some people it does. So what I will say is this. If you're somebody that finds that marijuana helps you and you get your shit done and creatively allows you to flow and maybe it decreases anxiety, it helps you sleep, then do what's best for you. What works for other people is not necessarily going to work for you. So seeing Wiz Khalifa rolling up 10 blunts on his Instagram and smoking them to his face before he even gets out of bed doesn't mean that you should be doing that to be like Wiz Khalifa, okay? I know people that smoke all day, every day, throughout the day and get shit done. And I know people, my roommate, Dylan Reese, who has never touched a thing and gets shit done all day. So when it comes to creativity and whether it's marijuana or other things out there, psychedelics and drugs, like, that's totally on you. I mean, I'm not here to, like, promote anything, right? Like, not here to say you should be trying things. But I think, like, an example, marijuana, where you can get it literally in LA at a local shop, 21 and plus. If that's something you want to test and try it out. See if it works for you. I'm not here to say it's going to work for everybody. But if it works for you, keep cooking up. You can try it. If it's not, then don't. I'm personally, like I've said, creativity-wise, I don't need it. It only hurts me. I get unproductive. I get lazy. But it has been a great way to ease the day down. And I've touched it from time to time here and there. But it's not like a priority. Like, I could go weeks without it, and it's really all good. Also, too, having come back from a nice booze-heavy trip, I mean, within balance, of course, you know, we weren't going too crazy, but definitely excited to be back in LA for the simple fact of getting back into a dieting routine or a workout routine and just getting head down on this content and everything else that I'm trying to work on behind the scenes. So overall, great trip, ladies and gentlemen. Overall, great trip. I think that's kind of it. I kind of like these like little 20 to 30, 35 minute, like little, just short little pods, just to give you guys little updates on my life. I know when I first started this podcast, I was doing a little bit more of like very structured and very like storytelling. But I kind of like this. I don't know. Like I said, I'm in this whole trial phase again. I'm back to like just kind of testing the water, seeing what I like to create, seeing what people enjoy, seeing what's valuable. And just kind of keep chugging along until I figure out what in the world I'm doing. So we're gonna keep cooking up. But as always, if you guys and gals want to help this podcast grow, I have two quick favors, real quick. One, please go on to the iTunes podcast app. It's the Bearded Man and leave a review. We're at 33 right now. Shouts to Larry Bird. Shouts to Birdman Hobart because we're at 33. Let's get that up. Let's crank that up a little bit to 50. I think we can easily get to 50. Let's get that up. If you've already done that or you don't want to do that, which I totally understand, screenshot this podcast, throw it on your Instagram story, tag me at boooy, B-O-3-Bs, 4 A's and a Y. Let me know what you think. Share it out. You could just post that, or you can also like say, hey, this guy has a date coming up. Ooh, Bobby's got a date. Hey, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Great. Share it out. It helps spread the word. And shout out to everybody that has been doing that. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head, but I try my best to DM you guys and gals and let you know that I appreciate the support. So, yeah, it's Monday, 7:45. We out here cooking up. Thank you guys and gals for always tuning in to It's the Bearded Man content. You know, it's the Bearded Man, Bob. Hey, what else can you expect? The high quality content. Let's get it. All right. I hope you guys and gals have a great week. Go get them wins. Stay focused. Keep grinding. Do the damn thing. Don't listen to what anybody else has to say. Have a great rest of your day, night, wherever you are in the world. If you're running, doing homework, cooking up yourself, keep going. Talk to you guys and gals real soon. See ya.